Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy, and welcome back to another episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. So let's jump back in. We thank the woman for her help before continuing to ask around town for more information. The more we hear, the more certain we become. She cheated on him! Princess, I know what you're thinking, but it would be incredibly rash to tell Rumpel about this. But she is lying to him! I can still remember the sadness in his eyes. Maybe somewhere deep down he still knows. Did his journal entry not say anything? You can try talking to him, Princess, but without any evidence, we're just going off of rumors. If you were wrong, I think that would hurt the situation a lot more. I am forced to acknowledge Waltz's reasoning. As much as I want to tell Rumpel right now, I do not even know where he is. We finish our errands for the day, and then return to the Marchen, where I complete my chores around the tavern before retiring to bed. Later that night, after turning for hours in bed without any success of sleep, I make my way downstairs for a glass of milk. I stop abruptly at the sound of hushed voices. Parfait and Rumpel are sitting together at a table, their voices soft. It means a lot to me that you're still taking care of me, even with everything that you have on your plate. When things are uncertain as they are right now, the little things that remain the same are actually comforting. What, no compliments tonight? He clears his throat. Lady Parfait, I always find comfort in your presence. Your heart's not in it, is it? Please don't stress yourself out trying to take care of me. I've seen the orders of the medicines and the dosages. I can take care of myself, Rumpel. I owe you and Lady Delora for letting me stay here. Even now, you could have kicked me out, yet I'm still here. This isn't the confident Rumpel that I'm used to seeing. It's rather heartbreaking to see you like this, you know. Parfait's eyes drift past Rumpel, and she sees me before I can dart away. I think you're worrying your partner, too. Rumpel turns in his seat and stares at me. Princess. I slowly make my way toward them. I'm sorry, Princess. I haven't been trying to help you at all. It is fine. Parfait's right, though. It is not like you to be so pitiful. Your words are still sharp as ever. I glance at Parfait curiously. The light of the tavern lights her face up dimly, making it look more ghostly than usual. She looks sicklier. Do you think I look like a ghost, Princess? Yes. By the time night comes around, I am utterly exhausted. You said you were like this because of the tenebrarum Lucius you have to take care of. That's correct. I used to be able to watch over it more easily, but now with the balance between both crystals lost in the kingdom, it's getting harder. This responsibility is a big burden. It is a heavy toll on my body. But that doesn't diminish any of my pride. I am proud to bear this responsibility. Someone needs to do it, and I am very glad I can help so many people through bearing this burden. What would happen if you just let the responsibility go? There would be even more chaos than there is now. And what of the tenebrarum bearer? Would they not help you with your stress? There is no tenebrarum bearer currently. What? Parfait stares at me for a few moments, a complicated expression on her face. Then suddenly she sighs. Please do not worry about me, Princess. I've lived a good life. I just want to do more good while I'm still alive. And I am very lucky to be surrounded by so many good people. Anyway, the two of you should be off to bed soon. I can tell you're both tired. Parfait pauses to look at me, eyebrows slightly arched. Oh, but before you go, there was something I meant to ask you. Ask me? Parfait crosses her arms and looks at me, tersely for a few moments. The look is so unlike her that it almost concerns me. She looks uncertain of something, though I cannot imagine what it is. What could she want to discuss with me? I wanted to ask if you were free the day after tomorrow. I am free whenever my schedule says I am. Then, if you could spare 20 minutes or so, I want to speak with you about something very important. Important? I suppose you could say it's related to your curse. Fine. Parfait smiles at us before walking back to her room, leaving me alone with Rumpel. Rumpel smiles at me uncertainly. For a few moments I think he might actually talk to me, but then he rushes off after giving me an apology. I watch him walk up the stairs, my heart sinking. I need to know what's going on with him. Today is my day off. I keep on the lookout for Rumpel. Eventually, I see him making his way down the staircase. He does not look quite as disheartened as last night, but his expression is still rather somber. He says good morning to everyone as he usually does, and then walks out through the front door. And that is my cue. Following behind Rumpel, without being seen, proves to be remarkably easy. Even if he is perceptive, he won't be expecting me to follow after him when I normally work during these hours. He makes his way through the town until he comes to a stop at a little cafe in the main plaza. It is clearly hidden, just slightly out of view, not at all in plain view like the rest of the shops. Bria is sitting, waiting for him at a table with a journal. The way she smiles at him numbs my heart. I make my way over to a nearby fountain and crouch beside it to keep out of their view. I can hear their conversation, just barely from where I sit. You know, I'd been searching for you for a long time when I saw you. You suddenly disappeared from the house one night and I couldn't find you. Why? Why did I leave the house? I don't know. Was it a fight? No, not a fight. We barely ever fought. We made a promise when you gave me this ring. We promised we would never make each other sad. I close my eyes and breathe. Bria's words drive a bitterness through my heart after everything I heard. Is it possible those rumors were baseless? Or it is possible that those rumors were baseless, but isn't it also possible that they were the truth? And Rumpel mentioned a fight. Now is my chance to tell him. Reconsider. But if somehow everything that we heard was one big lie, would I hurt Rumpel? I also have my pride. I cannot just accuse someone, even if I feel that Bria is guilty of something. I step away from the fountain, meaning to head back the way that I came. Even if the situation sounds wrong, I feel that Rumpel would hate me getting involved. I am surprised then when he calls my name. Princess, what are you doing here? He saw me. Did he know I was behind the fountain? Spying, are we? I make my way over to the table to where Rumpel is looking at me with worry, and Bria is openly scowling at me. Is there something wrong, Miss Partner? Not with me, but perhaps with you. Excuse me? You seem to have quite the reputation. Princess, I have no idea what you're talking about, but taking people's words at face value is foolish. Mother would have said the same thing, but why would they lie? So, it is not true that you were seeing another man. How dare you? Bria stands up and glares at me. I frown back at her. Her anger does not faze me. She seems like a petulant child. I can't stand jealous girls. They are the bane of my existence. And you're what, 18? 17? But what does that even matter? Either way, there'd just be about a 6-year age gap between you two. 24? Gods, am I really so ancient? Oh, excuse. The two of us look at him in unison, then back at each other. I am here because I want to help my partner, and because you are lying to him. And who are you to say that I'm lying? You're a terrible little spy is what you are, hiding places to watch us, going around town asking about me. I'm telling you now that Rumple doesn't need you, especially if you're the one spewing lies. Those words have no weight coming from a hypocrite. Wait, ladies. Rumple looks between the two of us, eyebrows furrowed. Then he shakes his head. Bria, I knew. It was in my journal. What? Rumple faces Bria, his expression crumpled. It was that lord, wasn't it? The one I refused to take money from that one time I helped him. He told me himself. I think that's why this feeling inside of me is so mute right now, why I was always having second thoughts about your stories. Bria, why didn't you ever tell me you were seeing him? I asked you that question back then too, but you never told me, and so I was waiting for you to bring it up again. I was waiting for you to explain. I was waiting for... As if I could ever get anything through that thick skull of yours. Even I cannot stop myself from staring at her when she insults Rumple, but this time she has admitted that the rumors are true. Even if I explained myself, all you would ever say is that you were sorry, but nothing ever changed. What did I do that was so wrong? Look at you! Even now you can't bring yourself to be angry at me. You knew the truth, and instead of demanding to know why I did what I did, you keep asking what you did wrong. But you'll never realize what you did wrong, Rumple. Never. Some things never change. Bria scowls as she makes her way around the table. Rumple tries to call her back, but Bria only frowns as she walks off. Okay, bye, bitch! Rumple lets out a long sigh. And there go all of my journals, too. Right, he said that Bria had all of his old journals. I am sorry. Huh? I only made things worse. I am still not entirely sure what they were talking about, but... Princess, you don't have to apologize for anything, though... Aw. I would like you to apologize for shedding some light on my age. What? Am I really, truly that old? Suddenly he looks disgruntled, but the look of distraught on his face is almost comical. I cannot help it when I smile and then start to laugh. Do my ears deceive me? Is that wonderful sound coming from your mouth, Princess? How precious. It's just, you are an old man. If I'm an old man, then I'm young at heart. Besides, I would be a lot more offended if you weren't smiling while you said that. After a few moments, Rumple sighs and shakes his head. I'm sorry you had to see all that. I knew there was more to the story than Bria was letting on, because I read the memory in my journal. You knew about the nobleman. Why did you not say anything? Like I said, I was waiting for her to say something. I wanted her to open up about it honestly. Bria is undoubtedly bold, but I doubt she is at all honest. The journal entry, I never read it to you. You have been distant the last week. I have been, and I'm sorry for that. But allow me to enlighten you. Rumple gestures to the chair that Bria had been sitting in, and I take a seat opposite of him. First, the nobleman was one of my patients. He had a grievous sickness, one that no one else had been able to cure. I cannot help but remember the little boy with the impossible sickness. It seemed he was drawn to Rumple, too. Rumple was not able to help that boy on his own either. Some woman offered her assistance. Did you manage to cure him with the help of that same woman? It's another cryptic entry, but yes, the mysterious woman from the first entry reappears. We strike another deal, but I cannot remember the deal at all. All I know is that afterwards I did something to make Bria hate me, and she began seeing the nobleman. Or maybe it was before that. Maybe she was just unhappy. She won't explain why. She still cheated on you. That is her fault, not yours. Rumpel nods absently. I could tell that he is not convinced. In any case, even though I can't remember the entirety of what happened, every time I thought of Bria, I thought of our love in the past tense. Rumpel frowns, but it is fleeting. Suddenly he is smiling again. Let's head back for now, Princess. I'll figure out how to reach Bria later. I follow Rumpel back to the margin. Though he seems fine for a time, Rumpel's somberness returned as we head back. He looks like he is trapped in his thoughts. He needs the rest of his journals, but how is he going to get a hold of them now? Oh, Princess, you're here. Sorry we're late. My, the princess is gracing us with her presence. Parfait said a few days ago that she had something to discuss with me, so I am here. Then, let's get right to it, shall we? She plops down on one of the chairs, and Parfait sits down gracefully beside her. Princess, the other day you asked me about my responsibility, and briefly about the Tenebrarum bearer. I did, but what does that have to do with me? It has everything to do with you, because when it comes to that second inquiry, the answer is right here. Delora points at me. I stare at her, not comprehending. Princess, the bearer to the Crystallum Tenebrarum is you. Oh, what? I am not able to even feel shock, just confusion. But how do I have anything to do with these crystals? See, I told you she'd be confused. It's because we started backwards. I'm so sorry, Princess. I do not understand. You remember the story about the crystals, Princess? For a time, the crystals were in complete balance. Even the witches who drew on negative energy were respected. Then one day, Hans wrote the fairy tales. Witches were suddenly painted as villains. Humans attacked the witches, trying to drive them out. Their leader, who just so happened to be my best friend, was hard-pressed to try to keep the peace. She was the original bearer of the crystal. But as witches were killed and thrown out, she found her patience wearing thin. She killed a human, the ultimate taboo, and there was nothing we could do but try to stop her. This bearer, the leader of the witches and bearer of the Crystallum Tenebrarum, is someone you know, or someone you knew. She erased all of your memories, made you think that the fairy tales were evil, that humans were terrible. I feel something dark stirring inside of me. A sharp pain cuts through my heart, making it hard to breathe. The previous bearer of the crystal was your mother, Princess. Hildur, the leader of the witches. That is impossible. Mother was not a witch. But she was, the strongest of us all. When she died, she kept some of her power sealed within the crystal, which is why it still allows the fairy tale curse to be spread. What kind of lie is this? I cannot use magic, and Mother never told me that she was a witch. She would have told me. It sounds like it, doesn't it? But I assure you, Princess, we would never lie to you about something like this. As impossible as it seems, you are a witch. Your power won't manifest until you're 18, and at that time you will inherit control of the crystal. Since your birthday is soon, this was the last chance we had to teach you goodness. Your mother's been shielding you from it for so long. We trusted you were different from her, and you are. But Mother was the only one that ever loved me. She stole away your memories and made you hate the world. Oh, whoopsie. That was Delora. Delora? She was fostering hatred in you, making you just like her. You do not know anything about Mother. I stand up, rage coiling inside of me like a snake. Melody, I know a lot about her. More than you will ever know. No! The truth is hard, princess, but eventually we all have to face it. Hildur was my beloved friend. Facing her was the hardest thing I have ever done. We only want to help you. Well, you are not very good at it. I turn on my heel and storm out of the room. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe. By subscribing, you're becoming part of a legacy. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!